We are in Dollar General, and I have a super important question to ask you guys today. So if you guys do not know, I actually live in what they would consider a food desert. So we have limited stores in my area, but I will say we do have one major chain store here, and that would be Safeway. Safeway is really, really expensive, you guys. I do have to drive to get to a Walmart or to a Fred Meyer, pretty much any other types of stores. The only other real discount store that I do have is Grocery Outlet. We do not have a Sam's Club in my state, so stuff like this is pretty important to my area. Having a Dollar General, Dollar Tree is really super important to our community. I will say I am very thankful because of the fact that I do have a car. A lot of people in my community do not drive, so they would be limited in having to pay really high prices for food. I see stuff like this in almost every single grocery haul to a low-income family. And I'm not saying we are any different, because stuff like this, two for $1, can really help out even stuff that is just 60 cents. I mean, these are not really all that nutritious, but in a pinch, you might have to buy them, right? You might have to buy them. One thing that I do like about Dollar General is they do have dollar items, actual dollar items, and this can help stretch your budget as well. Soups go a really long way. Okay? But that is not my question. It's not my question of the day. Also, sides like this can feed your family. Add a little chicken to it, you got a meal. Same with the potatoes, Okay? Even some of these boxed ones up here, like the au gratin potatoes, they can go a long way. I've never had the Culver Valley brand for $1. I've never had that brand. But I do like to pick up stuff like this from time to time to help stretch my budget. Also, alternatives in protein. Tuna. Not everybody likes fish though. But we got to get on to my question. On to the question. Could you live off of a beans and rice diet? Could you actually do it? That's the question. I gotta know about it because I'm doing some self-funded independent research on ways that I can stretch my budget even further, because I am kind of super cheap and I'm very frugal and I live off of a low income. So what are you doing? Are you eating beans and rice? Are you on a beans and rice diet? What is your version of a beans and rice diet? Because everyone's looks a little different, and it could look different dependent on your family size. Maybe you're a single person. Maybe you are a married couple. Maybe you don't have kids in the nest anymore and all your kids are gone and you are living the retirement life. Maybe you are on Social Security. Maybe you're on disability. Maybe you are hitting up the food pantries. Maybe you are a person that's very lucky and having a decent income, and you don't have to worry about all of the hustle and bustle. Maybe you are a large family and you are trying to make frugal meals. I want to know, how are you surviving in this economy with the food prices going up and down and doing the wave? Because it is not fun out there. It's hard for me to stick to my weekly budget, and it has gotten harder as things just progressively just get worse. So I am doing all the things that I can. You guys see my grocery hauls. You know that I'm on a tight budget. I am from here forward going to have to go down to $75 a week for our family to be able to really make it in this economy. Now, I will say this. Beans and rice diet does not have to be just beans and rice. It could be that you can't stomach beans. Maybe you don't like rice. Maybe you really can't stomach beans because you're like my husband and you got stomach problems. And not only did you find out less than a year ago that you were gluten-free or needing to be gluten-free due to extreme stomach problems, or that you have to drink lactate-free milk, or you have to watch your consumption of cheese. Maybe beans is on that list too, because he cannot eat beans. Not really. He can't. It doesn't work well with his stomach problems. He can eat them from time to time, but we just can't be eating beans every single day. I know it's cheap, but if it means that you got some other things going on, you might have to pass. It could be a hard pass for you. Maybe you're one of those people that have never been able to eat beans. So beans and rice diet can look different. Are you eating chicken and rice? Are you a big fan of mac and cheese and hot dogs, or mac and cheese and chicken, or mac and cheese and ground beef? Maybe you're making your own hamburger helper. Maybe you tend to eat a vegan or a vegetarian diet and you still do it on the cheap. Maybe you're going to the farmer's market and you're haggling. Maybe you are limiting your meals and you are no longer eating breakfast. Or maybe you have decided that you are going to start sack lunching it to work to save some money. Maybe you are one of those people who are like, I'm going to make a huge heaping pot of either spaghetti or soup, and you're taking that with you wherever you may go. Maybe you're retired and you're finding yourself having to go to extremes to save some money. Maybe you are deciding, if I go out to lunch, I have to buy a big enough lunch to where it now is my dinner, okay? My leftovers are my dinner. Maybe you're a single person and you are really struggling to keep on budget, but you dine out all the time. Maybe you are on Social Security or disability and you're needing to go stand in the line at the food pantry, or you're a larger family, and you have to make peace with yourself and go stand in the food pantry line. Or maybe you are at a point where you're not getting enough hours and you have to go sign up for EBT food stamps. Maybe you are at the store with your calculator just trying to make do with what you have. That was me the other day. Between all the stores I went to, the 2 stores I went to, I brought my calculator and I said, you know what, we're gonna stick to this budget. We're not going over. Also, this is the biggest one that I need to know. This is the biggest question I have of them all. What do you do when you go over your budget? Do you put it on a credit card? If you're one of those people who are trying to pay down debt, do you put it on a credit card? Are you one of those people that are like, I am cash stuffing envelopes, like moi, and you are pulling from another category? Does it mean that you have to really scrimp on something else in your life? Are you struggling to buy food and afford your medications? How are you balancing it out? Are you driving less? Are you going out to do entertaining things less? Are you watching Netflix? Are you watching Freevee? Are you watching Tubi? Are you watching Roku channel just to kind of get by? What are you doing when you go over your budget? It is the biggest expense that you can easily go over on your budget on, and I want to know. I want to know, and I can tell you the answer to mine. I cannot do something else I planned in the month. If I go over budget, I have to pull from my weekly income. Actually, technically, I get paid daily from one of my jobs, which I haven't really been doing lately, but I do gig working, so I can cash out every single day, but I do have to pull from that, or I have to make up for it. One or the other. Most of the time I'm making up for it. So I will pull the money, and then I will have to go work extra hard or an extra hour or two to make up that money. Maybe it means that I have to scrimp and get by until the next time I get paid. Maybe you are putting certain things on payments. The Afterpay stuff is huge. And actually, Afterpay has made it to gig working land where people are doing the buy now, pay later to get their DoorDash meal. They're putting on a 4 installment payment plan to get their groceries. I need to know all the things. What is your version of a beans and rice diet? Can you survive off of a beans and rice diet, even if it is a short-term thing? Highly, highly not suggesting to do it long-term if you have to. Are you going to food pantries? Are you officially on EBT food stamps? Are you not able to completely keep your budget in to place and all the aces in their places, and you're having to beg from Peter to pay Paul? Let me know in the comments down below, because it is really important. I want to know. Okay? So as always, you can only do what you can with what you got, because it's all you have to work with. If you need to go get assistance, or you need to find a place where you can get food, contact your local churches. Google search food pantries in your area. And of course, I am never going to judge you if you had to go sign up for EBT food stamps, because I have been in all of these positions, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys!